Listen, everybody needs a fairy godmother, just somebody to look out for them. Some people call me their fairy smoke mother, others their internet big sister, but you can call me Hannah, the host of Smoke Sash. So come hang out, let's light up and talk everything there is to life. The good, the bad, the ugly, the embarrassing. I've got a story for it all. Hello, hotties of the world, and happy Hottieween. Oh my goodness. I have never dressed up on the podcast before. Obviously, we have a confessionals episode, so I had to dress up like a nun. Hello, if anybody's going to forgive you for your sins, your problems, anything that you need forgiveness for, your hatred in your heart, it's gonna be me, best believe, because we're all deserving of that. But yeah, I had to go as a sexy nun, let's be real. I haven't ever done video episodes until this year, so I've never had an excuse to dress up. So I'm so excited for this, and I'm so excited to see where it takes us and what, Halloween costumes we will see in the future. But welcome, all my ghouls, my gals, my bitches, my witches. We are going to have such a fun episode today. Confessionals are some of my favorite episodes just because I feel like everybody is deserving of forgiveness, whether you believe it in your heart or not. We all fuck up, we all make mistakes, we all have little silly stories, and the best thing that you can really do at those mistakes, at those things, is laugh, forgive yourself, and keep it pushing. I understand the church might not be so forgiving to some people, so let me be the church that was never there for you. This is honestly pretty funny because my cousin is literally a Catholic monk. We went two obviously very different directions in life, but somehow ended up kind of in the same place. Anyways, pretty silly. I don't have much to catch you guys up on. I hope you stayed safe and sexy this Halloween weekend. Everybody always asks, like, oh my god, do people celebrate on Halloween? Do people celebrate the weekend before, the weekend after? In my opinion, I feel like it's the whole week of. But most people usually celebrate, I feel like unanimously, the weekend before. I thought I was going to go out and, dress up and do some stuff, but I ended up getting a little sick this weekend. I wasn't feeling great. I wanted to just rest, recoup. And the best thing that you can do for yourself is just listen to your body and what it needs. So I stayed inside this past weekend. I might get out on Halloween. We'll see what I get into. I definitely will be making a spooky charcuterie board, getting my munch on, watching some Halloween movies. That is necessary no matter what. But I don't have any fun stories or anything from this past weekend. I know you guys have a lot of fun stories, though. I know you guys went through a lot. Trust me, I have peeked at those confessionals, and my God, you guys definitely have some things to get off your chest. So with that being said, honestly, let's just dive right in. Let's cut right to the chase. I also haven't smoked with you guys in a little bit, so I want to sit down and smoke with you before I get into these confessionals. Let's get a little silly, let's get a little crazy, and let's have some fucking fun. It's a Halloween episode. We're not going to take it too seriously today. Also, some of the advice I might give today is a little toxic. I'm feeling evil. I'm feeling a little evil today, and I love that for us because I think it makes things more fun instead of being like healing. Sometimes healing has to be a little evil, So let's indulge in our spooky side. Let's seek forgiveness today, and let's get into all the crazy fucking stories you guys have to tell. Cheers, my babes. Oh my gosh. Listen, I've had some crazy Halloween weekends. Back when I was in college, of course, Halloween was like every single fucking day, and I would dress up and I would get to those frat parties and I would go fucking absolutely insane. Usually I was the mom of the friend group. Can you believe? Can you believe? I feel like I didn't really, release my inhibitions until I started partying alone. Also, I was in a very deep, dark place in my life, so I did not care if I lived or died. So I was getting myself into some crazy situations. But back when I was in college, I was always partying with friends, and I was always so fucking worried about them because I went to a Catholic school. And if you guys don't know anything about Catholic girlies, once they finally taste freedom, they go crazy. They go crazy, crazy. And it's like, obviously, when you've been sheltered from everything in your life and told, no, bad, don't do that. And then finally you realize, oh wait, I can do that. No one's watching me. Maybe God is, but like my parents aren't watching me. I'm not going to get grounded. They go crazy. They go crazy. I once saw my friend shotgun a beer immediately vomit up over a stairwell onto people below, and then somersault down the stairwell about 2 flights, and then get up like nothing happened and go, I'm so sorry. Girl, we gotta go home. We gotta go home. That was in the first like month of us being in college. I was probably like, what, 18, maybe 18. And I was flabbergasted because I had been drinking in high school. So this was nothing new. So I felt the urge to just like, hover over and protect everybody around me because no one knew what the fuck was happening at all. So that's usually what my Halloween weekends looked like. I was like having fun, but also like, no, don't take that drink. No, don't talk to that man. No, please don't fall over the stairwell. Like, oh my God, I'm on edge all the time. And someone's got to be there to make sure you don't die. So if you have that mom friend in your group, send her a text message right now and say, I'm so sorry for all the stress I caused you, but I'm so lucky to have you in my life. Thank you so much for being you, because they deserve an apology. They deserve some sort of recognition. Maybe buy them a cute little edible arrangements after this Halloween weekend, because God knows they deserve it. A good bottle of wine, perhaps. Maybe, an eighth to take the edge off. But being the mom friend of the group is ultimately so stressful. And then, I got older. I turned, 20, 21, and I started going out alone, getting into some crazier things. And ultimately, I had a lot of fun. I can't believe I didn't die in those situations. But that's when Halloween started becoming like a Molly rave. I'm going to dance for 12 hours. And listen, I had my fun. I enjoyed my time. But now I'm 25. I really don't mind spending a Halloween inside. These past years, I have been like, if I'm inside on Halloween, I'm going to lose it. I'm going to lose my mind. The FOMO is so real. I'm just going to be looking at everybody's costumes, like sad crying in my bed. If you're that kind of person who's like, I have nowhere to go, I want to go out, like I don't know what to do, just send it, okay? I guarantee you can have so much fun on your own. Just don't let the demons out too much, especially if you don't have someone watching over you. Have a couple drinks, enjoy your time, dress up, pretend you're, the manic pixie dream girl of someone's life, get into character, wear a weird fucking costume and see if you can get a man to make out with you. Like, it's fun, you don't have to have like a group to go out with. You can go out and have a lot of fun on your own. Go to a rave, go to a local show, whatever it may be. Don't let the fear of like quote unquote not being included hold you back, because you are always included if you're just simply in the space. It's impossible not to be. So in the past, I've been like, I have to go out. I usually make plans. I usually am at a rave somewhere. But this year, something in my brain has connected in a way where I am overall focused on just like not dying and not being so hungover and actually functioning the next day, that I'm honestly like, you know what? If I miss a Halloween, it's whatever. I'll have my fun here and there, but I am not feeling the urge to go out, release the demons. So you kind of just got to give in to what you're feeling. Ultimately, whatever you're feeling, as long as you listen to that and follow that energy, you're going to have a good time. And Halloween's not over yet, girl. It's Tuesday. It's happening Thursday. You can find something to do. If you want to get out, go do it. If not, I'm happy to be here and celebrate with you guys on this beautiful little day. Anyways, enough rambling. Can you tell the weed hit my brain? I'm like on one. So let's get into your confessionals. Someone said, not mine per se, but my mom used to piss in her abusive ex's coffee and smile in his face. Listen, no shame in that. That is crazy though. Here, have a great day. Here, enjoy. You enjoy that. You enjoy it. Please leave before it gets to you pissing in someone's coffee mug. Low-key hate living with my roomie. She leaves used Q-tips and pads all the time, but she's sweet. Some people aren't taught the same for like hygiene purposes, and you really start to notice this as an adult, like, and maybe like that one weird kid who didn't have good hygiene when you were younger, you're like, oh no, they were just severely neglected. I doubt this is her situation. I doubt she was severely neglected, but not everybody is taught the same way in hygiene and cleaning. And you realize that especially young, and especially when you're first starting to live with roommates. So I would just, there's a healthy way that you can just be like, hey girl, can you take out the bathroom trash this time? Please and thank you. With a smile on your face. People are so receptive to like suggestions if you ask kindly and nicely and in a upwards tone. You would be surprised how far you can get. And she doesn't do it on purpose. So the best you can really just do is be like, hey girl, this is yours. I need you to take care of it. Peace and love. Peace and love. I once shit on a beach like a cat in a big litter box. Truly living the life. Last night I dressed up as the devil and went home with a nun. Am I going to hell? If you're going to hell, me too, girl. And we're gonna get down there and we're gonna have a lot of fun together. That's for sure. Once I was fucking a friend group and was hanging with two of them, so we had a threesome. Okay, challengers. You know what, one thing that's been pissing me off with the Halloween costumes this year is everybody's dressing as challengers, but none of the challengers are making out with each other. If you are going to dress up as all three of the challengers, the two boys and Zendaya, all three of you need to like make out at some point in the night. You gotta stay authentic to character, This girl, this is like her 10th confessional, but I'm kind of living for it. I used to make edibles in a crock pot in my closet in high school. What in the world? I also was a crock pot edible girly, but I didn't start until freshman year of college. Lord, please forgive me. I needed to make some money. I needed money for the bottles of alcohol for Halloween night. You know what I mean? So of course I was going to make crockpot edibles in my boyfriend's trailer. Yes, low times, I know. And sell them to the college athletes on my campus, on my Catholic campus. Yes, of course I was going to do that. In Minecraft, obviously, legal purposes. All right, I confess. My first kiss was at Jesus camp with the pastor's grandson. Why is it always the pastor's children that are like the freakiest people on earth? Like, a popular, example, Katy Perry. Wasn't she the pastor's daughter? And now she's like, freaky, of course, but like, oh my God. There's obviously something not adding up here. I once peed in a doorstep when I was drunk because I thought it was a bush. White flooring. Okay, you're either the friend that like pees outside freely, or you're the friend who's like, I have to wait for a bathroom. I have a friend that will pee anywhere, anytime, daylight, nighttime, in public. She does not give a fuck. And it is a little strange, but honestly, like, props to her for having the balls to do so. But drunk peeing is crazy. Also, have you seen those TikToks of girls being like, oh, my boyfriend drunk peed the bed again? That is not normal. That is definitely not normal. I'm here to say that is a massive red flag. You should not frequently be getting so drunk that you're peeing or shitting yourself. That is a sign there might be a problem. That is a sign we might need to seek help. Also, before anyone's like, how dare you dress up as a nun? How dare you? Listen, I went to church most of my fucking life. I believe in God. I believe in God, believe it or not. I do believe in a higher power of some sort. Is he the white, long-haired man that you might think he is? No, not particularly. But I do believe in something, at least. And also, have you heard about the weed nuns? I have this fantasy of just like selling everything I own and then running away to live with the weed nuns and just like grow weed and hang out with women for the rest of my life. That is my ultimate dream. So this is a wink and a nod to them. Hey girls, if you want to have me for like a summer, I would love to come join you. I would absolutely love to be there. I threw my drink at my girlfriend's shitty ex during a house party. I'm blacklisted. Blacklisted. Boo. Those people just don't know how to have fun. I mean, assault isn't great, but I love a drink to the face. I love a drink to the face. I think it's so catty. I think it's so Real Housewives. Like, who am I to throw a punch when I have a drink in my hand? I feel like that's kind of like a classy way to fight somebody, and props to you for having the balls to do it. I think if you've been a shitty person, you should always be aware that a drink could hit your face at any point in time, and that ultimately is the consequences of your actions. My confessional is I have none. Hashtag quiet girl summer / autumn. Me as fuck. I'm like, I haven't been into trouble. I haven't gotten crazy at all this season or last season. And ultimately, I do think that is a direct reflection of just my brain fully forming, and I'm not seeking dopamine hits as often, whether they're high or low. And also, like, my serotonin has leveled out, and I'm in therapy. Like, I've done work. I'm not seeking the craziness, but I love hearing about the girls who are just like going wild. And listen, sometimes internally I do have to let the demons free. I get it. And when you hear that calling, it's best to lean into it and set them free. I think my biggest demon moment was when I was a freshman in college and I used my friend's fake ID to get into the club. Keep in mind, I look absolutely nothing like her. She has brown hair. She's like 5 inches taller than me. Like, we look nothing alike. Got in. Of course, happy Halloween weekend. Partying it up, you know, when I was a single girlie partying it up, I would just take shots and then just run around and talk to people. I don't care who it was. I would just talk to whoever was willing to talk to me. I mean, like, that's the point of the party, right? Like, I'm not here to stand around in a corner. I'm here to chit chat and dance and have a good time. Anyways, I end up talking to this man who's about 7 feet tall and Russian. And I'm like, who are you? What are you doing here? He's like, I own the place. I'm like, oh, you own the club. He's like, yeah, let's go to my penthouse. I'm like, listen, I don't want to die that much. I don't need to go to this man's penthouse, but I will dance with him on the floor. Anyways, then he ended up fingering me on the dance floor, and then I left. Oh my God, you guys, it's such a beautiful fall day. I'm looking outside. Let me set the scene for you, okay? I'm in my nun outfit. I'm right next to like a massive street, so I know everybody's just looking in the window staring at me in this cheetah print couch looking like a nun. I kind of live for that though. Like, okay. Anyways, me and my boyfriend carved pumpkins. There's like pumpkins sitting outside, jack-o'-lanterns, and all of the trees are bright orange and red. It's a little gloomy, a little cloudy, still bright enough. And there is these massive trees right next to my apartment, and they're just blowing leaves as if it's raining. I feel like I am in Gilmore Girls right now. I feel like I am living my Twin Peaks Twilight fantasy, and I'm living for the energy. I feel guilty for not wanting to go to school because I know it just means I'll be miserable. School equals basically preparing for a 9 to 5, and it's depressing. Okay, I used to have this mindset when I was your age, but in fact, school is a gift and it is a privilege, and a 9 to 5 is not a gift. It's not a privilege. It's not preparing you for a 9 to 5. It's preparing you to just like function at a basic human level. College will prepare you for the 9 to 5, will prepare you for the career. But if I could give one piece of advice, listen, this is healed Hannah here. This is Hannah who has many regrets here. This is nun Hannah coming in here to give you godly, soundly advice. Do not drop out of school. Keep going, because if you drop out of school, you will realize how hard life truly is, especially at a 9 to 5. And if you can persevere through school, receive a degree, go after your education, better yourself that way, which ultimately will get you better careers and better jobs, so your 9 to 5 doesn't truly suck, please go that route. Please. I'm practically begging you. And I get the whole money thing. That shit fucking sucks. I still have student loans that I'm paying off. And ultimately, like, I wish I had the degree and was paying off student loans. I wouldn't mind, versus not having the degree and having to pay off those student loans. Yeah, just please persevere. It's not as miserable as you think. And honestly, I wish I could go back and take school more seriously. I was that emo girl in fucking math class drawing like skeletons or whatever. Like, you know, very, very sad, tortured poet department kind of vibes. I wish I could go back and be like, bitch, shaking my shoulders, like, get it the fuck together. Like, this time does matter. And until you grow up, you don't realize that shit matters. My boyfriend was the kid in class that was like the class clown, like not getting good grades at all. at all. Like, and listen, I love those types. It's a fault of mine. But even he is like, I wish I took that shit more seriously. I wish I wasn't this emo skater kid who didn't give a fuck about anything and only wanted to just like dip out of school. I wish I would have taken that shit seriously and not been like a clown or whatever. And if he's saying that, if he, the most I don't give a fuck kind of man out there, is saying that, that means something. Speaking of, there's this asshole guy in one of my classes who I know sucks, but I'm so down bad for him. Me as fuck. Me as fuck. And you know why that is? Psychologically, I think I figured it out. I was a very good kid. I was a very good girl. I always listened. I didn't talk, out loud in class when I was not asked to. I was very polite and mindful and demure. My parents raised me to be a good Midwest girly. You know what I mean? So I was a good example. I will say I was a great example for the teacher to use. And that means every time some kid was acting out in class, she always moved me next to him. She always moved me next to them because she wanted, the kids who don't know how to act to see firsthand how a good person should act. And it worked beneficially for the kid who was fucking up, but it did not work beneficially for me because I ended up loving the class clowns, the asshole men. I loved the tortured men, you know what I mean? Because I was always fucking sat next to them. I was not set up for success there. And they're cute. They're fun. Like, they're great for a fling or like a little crush, but they are usually never like dating material. Anyways, now that I've grown up and we've all outgrown our phases, and I can see that my boyfriend was that way at one point in time, but he's outgrown it. I love him for that, but I feel like a lot of those people do not outgrow that shit. So like, yeah, have your little crush, have your little flirt, chit chat a little bit. But if you see a man and you go, oh, he's a horrible person, I can fix him. No, ma'am. No, you cannot. He's going to be a horrible person and you're going to suffer while trying to fix him, but he ultimately is not going to give a fuck because why? Because he's a horrible person. Like, you would think you would know the math because it's right in front of you, but there's some like weird twisted part of my brain that's like, no, I know 2 + 2 = 4, but what if I can make it equal 5? Girl, you're not a mathematician. You cannot fix that equation. You cannot fix that man. But yeah, have your little flirt, get your little fling on. But please, for the love of God, stay away. I used to have an OF, dead now, but my current boyfriend doesn't know about it. Well, I don't know if you have to tell him. Like, if you're not doing it and it was a thing in the past, like, I don't think you always have to tell your partner about like past things that didn't involve them. I learned this the hard way when me and an ex were playing like truth or drink, and he was like, okay, truth or drink, am I the biggest guy you've ever been with? And I was like, obviously not. And I was like, oh, he got very mad. Obviously, hello. But in my brain, I was drunk and I was like, it's truth or a drink. I don't want to drink anymore. Like, I'm just going to tell him the truth. Also, he's kind of evil. So like, I want to hurt you. Bad, all around bad. And obviously not happy about that. But in that moment, that was like a real life moment where I was like, oh, I don't have to say everything out loud. I can choose to keep things to myself. And like, ultimately, if it's something that doesn't involve him, has never involved him, and is not happening anymore, whatevs. I still blame myself for when my ex broke up with me because I wasn't ready for sex. Please, for the love of God, do not let a dirty, dusty man convince you that you're not worthy enough or it was your fault for understanding your boundaries. That is the devil. That is the devil. Shun, shame. That man is the devil, and you escaped the devil. So please do not blame yourself for that. Went to a Halloween party and used a random sweatshirt in the bathroom as toilet paper. And that's why I never threw parties at my house. That's why I was never the person who was like, no, you can come over and trash my house. Even in college, like, no parties were ever going to happen in my apartment. I actually heard, believe it or not, Tara Yummy mentioned this, and she's a huge party girl, but she's like, why the fuck would I invite people over to my house to know where I live to ultimately like be in my space and ruin my things? That is not something that you ever want to do. she's like, I'm just going to rent a venue, or I'm going to do it at my friend's house who's cool with it. Like, why would I not just do that so that I'm not having to deal with all the bullshit and the drama? And that is so fucking smart. It is never worth throwing a party at your place. I think I threw one party at my place. It was a New Year's Eve party, and this was in like the height of my toxic era, getting drunk, lying to my parents, but also living at home. Very weird time in my life. I don't really know. I do know what was going on. It was a evil man who was torturing me. Anyways, bad place in life. And I threw a New Year's Eve party at my house. We were taking Everclear shots, and my parents were like, okay, we're gonna be out of the house, you know, at a bar or something until midnight or like 12:30. So just make sure, you know, if you're doing anything fucking shady at 12:30, we're gonna be home. Please stop doing the shady shit. I was ripping a GB on my roof as my parents pulled in at 12:30, and I run downstairs, blacked out drunk, completely speaking gibberish to my parents. They're like, okay, well, we're going to go to bed now. And as soon as they walked away from me, I walked outside, projectile vomited in the bushes, walked back inside like nothing happened. I woke up the next morning, the entire house a mess, floors sticky. I had so much cleanup to do. I was so hungover. It was just fucking awful having to deal with the mess the next day, mentally, physically, and just in my space. And then also my parents. I mean, they did not give a fuck, which was very, very surprising of them. But I think they were just like, no more pressure on the girl. She doesn't need it. But if you cannot throw a party in your space and avoid getting your sweatshirt used as a pee rag, please, for the love of God, do so. Because the frat bathrooms look that way for a reason. It's because they don't give a fuck. Go to a place where it's like safe in the sense of they simply do not give a fuck, so you can just wild out and have a good time and not have to think about like the consequences of everybody being in that space. But yeah, that's why I threw one party, I think, and I was like, I'm done. I will never be doing that again. I will just keep going back to the frat houses where, yes, I can use a sweatshirt to pee. My ex-boyfriend wanted me to peg him, and when I didn't take him seriously, he cried. LMFAO. Oh my god. Oh my god. The crying is a little wild because, like, well, I don't know how hard you were making fun of him, but the crying is a little wild. That's insane. First of all, I'm having like an Alana Broad City moment where she's like shopping for bags underground, and Abby calls her and is like, he wants me to peg him. And she just starts twerking upside down. Like, girl, you should have lived that fantasy out. But I understand if you were like, is this a joke? Like, what's happening? Like, it's an odd request. It is. I get a finger up there. I get like maybe, you know, mouth play, things like that. But straight to pegging is a large jump, you know? So I understand why you were like, what the fuck did you just say to me? But also, would I peg a man? I don't think I could peg the man I dated. You know what I mean? I could do a lot of things, but I don't think I'm in the mood to throw dick like that, you know? I am a pillow princess at heart. Oh my gosh. So I'm making merch right now, and I sold these whole hoodies at one point in time with like an illustration. Shout out to my girlies that have them, where it says like smoke sesh across the front, and then I had a big smoking fairy on the back, and it was like they were so cool, and they were like all pastel. And I haven't made anything since because I kind of like doing limited drops. I am bringing back some things though, so stay tuned. But I had some extras that were like XLs or something, so I gave them to my parents, like fuck it, whatever. And my parents gave them to like their good couple friends. My dad sent me a photo from the bar, and it was like one of their good couple friends wearing the Smoke Sesh sweatshirt, like chugging a beer, and was like, she loves the hoodie. I was like, this is so funny. And then he texted me, he's like, oh, and we were in a dispo in the Crossroads, and the girlies at the smoke shop loved her hoodie. Like they loved your hoodie. I was like, oh my god, what smoke sesh girlies? We're seeing my parents and their friends out and about buying weed in my hoodie, because that's a little crazy. Thank you for the unconditional love, parents. But also, if you're listening to this particular episode, you can click out. I had a realization in that moment that I was like, they've heard my podcast and they're proud, because I don't think they're just blindly proud. Like, if I was a parent, I would be nosy as fuck. I'd be like, okay, I have to know. If you're putting it out on the internet, like, I gotta listen to an episode. Hello. And like, sometimes I open this episode like talking about eating pussy, and it's like, they do not need to hear that. So I'm glad that you heard the parts that you can be proud of, but this particular episode, no need to listen. We'll talk about this when I get older. Like, I'm pee shy. I was drunk and got caught peeing in the sink at a boy's house I really liked. Oof. There's ultimately two ways you can play it off, and there's only one right way. You can either be really, really awkward about it and be like, I'm so sorry, you know, please don't take it seriously. You know what I mean? And that kind of puts blame onto you. Or you can own that shit. And I feel like when you do something weird or fucked up or a little awkward, you gotta own that shit like never before. You're gonna be like, well, someone else was peeing in the toilet, so I had to pee in the sink. Like, you've never peed in a sink before. And if you do that to men, like the blind confidence, they truly believe it. They truly believe it. They will not think twice about it. They'll be like, oh yeah, she's right. Like, I have peed in the sink before. Like, totally normal. She's drunk. Whatever. You gotta own that shit. I love Halloween because I love seeing people release their inner freak. My friend, she is the quietest, sweetest girl on the planet. And she sent me a picture of her Halloween costume. And it was full body paint Ronald McDonald. And ultimately, I would never see that side of her unless it was Halloween. And I love when people truly, truly let that fucking freak out. And I think their Halloween costumes do have a lot to say about them. Me, none. You know, seeking forgiveness, providing forgiveness for the girls, wanting to be a holy woman, religious trauma, question mark. My friend, Ronald McDonald, loves fucking McDonald's so much she had the urge to body paint herself. So, like, freak, fantastic, love it. The challengers, bisexual, want to make out with each other secretly and are trying to find an excuse to. I love when people just like release their inner silly side, or like you get to see a freaky side of them that they would never show, because I truly wish more people would show that side to the world, because that's what makes it fun, you know, that's what makes life fun. That's why I try to be as uninhibited as possible, because it's like, if I can make one more person comfortable with like their inner freak, then angel has gained its wings, truly. My depression apartment was so bad once that a mouse tried to chew through my wall. Well, I have mice and this place is clean as fuck, so don't take it personally. Maybe the mouse sensed you need a friend. I'm 22 years old and I'm afraid to come. I've never been able to before. Have you heard about the doctor in LA? She's a woman, or I think it's a couple women who teach women how to come. Have you seen them? That is so interesting to me, because truly, truly, I think every girl needs a vibrator. I think every girl needs a vibrator. Okay? I think you should be able to and should learn how to be able to experience pleasure on your own. And don't be afraid. You're going to realize like, oh shit, I feel good. And I'm deserving of feeling good. I'm super attracted to my boyfriend's best friend, and I don't know how to stop it. Either you're going to have a challenger situation on hand, which will probably turn evil. Don't highly recommend. We are not living in a movie. Or you just ignore the feeling and keep it pushing. I have a crush on a classmate, but I'm in a long distance relationship with my boyfriend. If you are under the age of 25, maybe 23. I would say 23, 24, 25, 23 being the youngest, and you're under those ages. I don't think it's worth a long distance relationship. I don't. You're young, you're impulsive, you're obviously seeking fun. These are times where you need to be learning about yourself. And if you feel like your relationship is not nourishing the side of you that is helping you learn more about yourself, you gotta get out of there. You do. I was in a long-term relationship for a year, or long-term, what the fuck is the word? Long-distance relationship for a year. And it really just held me back from being my uninhibited self. It really made me a great student, because I was not focused on partying or boys at all. But it did make me a shell of a human and kept me from experiencing life for a year. So if you feel like that's happening to you, I'm offering you, the forgiveness of leaving. My boyfriend accidentally sent a video of me masturbating with a vibrator to his family group chat. Oh, I got full body chills from the scaredness. Talk about horror. I'm so sorry that happened to you. Pro tip, if you ever send anything and you're like, oh my God, I didn't mean to send it to that person, immediately click airplane mode. I remember when we were going to prom, probably junior year, and we were all taking pulls out of handles in our friend's bedroom while getting ready. And she took a video, and she was very, very Christian girl. Her mom, very, very Christian, accidentally sent the video to her mom, and she started screaming. I was like, oh my God, what happened? She said, the video, it's sending to my mom. I saved the fucking day. Slide down airplane mode. Don't touch it. Oh, now the video can't send? Great. You're welcome. I just saved your life. That is fucking crazy though. I think I would have to not see them for a couple months, maybe to a year. Let's all just forget that happened, Caught my BF mid-act watching porn last night. In disbelief, saw the video and everything. That would break my heart. I don't care what you do, but don't do it in front of me. But also, maybe kind of ooh, hi. Hey, can I join? I don't know. It would be two devils sitting on my shoulder pulling me in both directions. Kind of what the actual fuck, and also okay. That's a tough one. That is a tough one. Ultimately, I would like to say shocked, flabbergasted, but I don't think he had ill intent as long as he wasn't watching something weird and fucked up. Through multiple house parties over the past few weeks while dad's on his honeymoon. I mean, listen, if any parent leaves you at home, in high school or college for a week plus of time, they're going to get a house party thrown there. Oh my God, I have had multiple house parties. I don't even know what I was saying. One was a college senior year house party, and it definitely was I was not thinking about anything at all, which was super fun, but also a mess in the house. And then also I threw one not during COVID, but pre-COVID with all of my coworkers, where we ended up buying 5 baby pools and just hanging out and doing Molly in the backyard, in the sun, in our underwear in the pools. That one was fantastic because they actually had respect for the place. If any parent is leaving the house unattended for weeks at a time with their young child, they have to assume that there's going to be a party happening. If I have kids, I will literally be I do not give a fuck. If you go to a party, do not throw a party in my fucking house. And call me if you need a ride. I literally will not be mad. I want you to be safe, and also don't mess with my fucking property. I feel I will have that conversation. I have dreams about cheating on my boyfriend. Either A, you're unhappy and you need to set yourself free, or B, you're a little more freaky than him and are maybe seeking a 3-way. I don't know. You're unfulfilled in some point of your life, and I want you to pinpoint where that is. That's your homework. I egg my ex-boyfriend's house once a month because he cheated on me. Real. You don't even need forgiveness for that. You need support and understanding. The guy I'm seeing has cheated before. ... I don't know what to do. Well. It's like when someone has blue eyes. You can't argue that they don't have blue eyes. He's a cheater. You have to understand that if it's happened before, it might happen again. Okay? If he has not profoundly expressed on his own without you bringing up how awful and horrible that was of him, he does not give a fuck. He does not give a fuck. And it is something I would have an eye out for sure. I hate everyone who wronged me. Fuck forgiveness. I forgive them. I just don't forgive myself. It should be the opposite way. If you hate everyone and they're horrible and mean to you, and if they are genuinely an evil and awful person to you, yeah, maybe they don't deserve forgiveness, but you always deserve forgiveness. The key point here is you always deserve forgiveness. If not from them, at least from your fucking self. Set yourself free of guilt. Guilt will cage you and trap you like an animal and make you a shell of who you are. You need to understand that we as humans, we get treated awful sometimes. We also treat other people awfully. And in both situations, if you can forgive yourself and truly seek betterment, life will be so much fucking better for you. Okay? And yeah, fuck people who do you wrong. Fuck them. Maybe they don't fucking deserve forgiveness, but you do for what you've been through. My best friend doesn't know I got back together with my ex. Do I tell her? She hates him. If your friend hates your ex so much that you are afraid of telling her anything about him, or she hates your boyfriend so much that you're afraid of talking about him around her, that's not because she's jealous or, hates him for no reason. It's because she loves you and she sees that you're being treated a way that you don't deserve. Please, please understand that and ask yourself, why are you putting yourself in that situation? Because I'm sure you don't fucking like him either. Oop. This might be the funniest confessional yet. I'm a straight male and I listen to your pod a lot. I know it's not for me, but it's informative. It is for you. You're an honorary girly. If you are a straight man seeking betterment, you are an honorary girly because you are a rare breed and we are truly happy to have you here. Okay, I promise. And ultimately, I do think you're going to be a better boyfriend for it. The same way I'm a big sister to the girlies by giving advice. I truly do not want to have I want to have a girl first. If I have 2 kids, I want to have a girl and then a boy because I think the men who have older sisters in their lives are better men. Most of the times, I understand that's not true 100% of the time. Most of the times, they having adult women or older women in their life be good role models for them and tell them things that they wouldn't hear normally, especially if they were just surrounded by men, is so good for their psyche. So I'm an older sister to the girlies, but also for the straight men who want to be better people in general, I can be an older sister to you as well. I want my dick sucked. I'm a woman. I'm so sad I'll never experience it. Real as fuck. Real as fuck. You ever get dick envy? I have that a lot. I'm like, ugh. A blowjob would go so hard right now, but I literally do not have a penis. Anyways, I do not wish to peg a man, but yeah, I feel that so internally. I'm like, I do wish I could get a blowjob though. If I ever had a dick for a day, of course that's the first thing I'm doing. Of course it's the first thing I'm doing. I pegged a man on date 2, having never done it before. You guys are freakier than me. That's a little crazy. I love that, but wow. Date 2 is we're making out. Actually, who am I to fucking talk? Me and my boyfriend met, we had sex 6 hours later. Of course. So maybe date 2 isn't so crazy. I haven't fucked or kissed anyone in over a year and I'm fiending. Listen, if you need to go out and have a little evening makeout sesh, that does not ruin your celibacy. You know what I mean? My friend's been celibate for a year and a half. She will have men over, make out with them, give them a blowjob, and send them home. She's like, no, but I didn't lose my virginity. And I'm like, you know what? That's impressive. Oh my God, she's truly there just for the experience, but no, you do not need to have sex with me. I just want to make out with you and send you home. And you know what? Sometimes you're deserving of those moments. I'm pregnant. Not to gasp. A blessing in disguise, perhaps, but also if you need to make a choice that is very hard for you, that you need to make no matter what, there is nothing wrong behind that. And women should be able to do that no matter what. Okay? You are deserving of a choice. And you do have a choice. Even if you live in a state where they took away your choices. I twitch. Please, for the love of God, vote so I don't lose all my rights as a human being. We'll keep your secret. You can go somewhere else. You can get whatever procedure done that you need to get done. Please And if you want to keep it, we will be proud aunties as well. But yeah, I think choice is so important. And if you're a person out there who believes that women don't deserve the choice of, pregnancy or not, you are going straight to fucking hell. And I hope you burn. Confession, I think my boyfriend cheated, but I'm too scared to leave. Cheat back. No, I'm joking. But also, well, what do you mean you think? You think. If you're too scared to leave, like, you might as well fight about it. You might as well bring it up. And if it did happen, I will tell you, it's gonna happen again. It's gonna happen again. It will. I promise you. Okay? So if you think you're deserving of getting cheated on, you can stay. But also, if you know you're deserving of more, I encourage you to leave. And I know you're brave enough to do so. I know you got it. You're going to feel so good after you leave. If you leave your cheating boyfriend, you will feel like the baddest bitch ever, because you will have realized your worth. You've realized he's a shitty man. And you will realize, I'm not going to put up with that bullshit. Actually, he can be alone. Okay? He can suffer. I'm going to leave and move on to somebody who won't do that to me. And I'm going to leave and have fun sex, not behind my boyfriend's back, because I'm a good person. The guy I'm talking to is boring me to tears, and I feel so conflicted. Oh my God, love from the UK. Hello, mate. Hello, love. That was a little Australian. I'm so bad. I need to do a world tour and maybe do meetups, and maybe we just smoke and hang out. That would be so fun. Like, I don't want to do a live show. Like, I literally just want to have like a girls' night in the living room. Like, let's just smoke some weed and chit chat. That's the dream. Anyways, I need to get abroad, both to Australia and to Europe, because I realize I have a lot of girlies there, and I'm so happy to have you. But listen, if you, within the first 3 months of dating, are not practically giggling and kicking and swinging your feet, awooga, having heart eyes pop out of your fucking head, then that is not the right person for you. That's a friend that you just happen to make out with, and that's okay. Maybe you guys should stay friends and not take it any serious. But yeah, you should be like giggling and practically growing angel wings out of your back. That's how you know you're in love. And that's how you know it's the right person for you, because you guys should be able to create that chemistry together. And if you can't create chemistry, then what the fuck is it all for? My mother thinks I'm an innocent girl, but I've fucked many people. Okay, Carrie. Isn't that the plot of Carrie? I don't know. I haven't seen that movie in a long time. All I know is overbearing mother. Listen, your mom doesn't need to know. Another pro tip. You, once again, don't have to say everything out loud. You can just do your thing and have fun, as long as you're staying safe. I had sex with my best friend's older brother and didn't tell her. I am in crippling regret. Ooh. Yeah, once again, maybe that's one of those things you don't say out loud. Fuck, that's hard. Do we really need a boyfriend, or are girlfriends way better? Girlfriends are way better always. Like, if you are under 30, your main goal in life should not be finding a partner. Fuck that bullshit. It should be finding really, really, really good friends. Because if you're aimed at having really good friends, you're going to have a great community around you. You're going to have everlasting support and unconditional love without sex. Very important. Okay? That's going to last a lifetime. And if you're able to have that good community, you're able to have people around you that have sound mind and sound heart. So when you do start meeting people and you do start telling them about them, they can give you honest feedback and advice. Literally, I think that is the ultimate equation. And like, yeah, have your fun, have your flings. But should you be focused on finding a partner at 21? Bitch, that should not be your main goal in life. I mean, if it is, no shame, no shame. No shame. Forgiveness. But please seek community, seek friendship. Hey, Hannah, when was one time you think you took revenge too far? P.S. Love the pod. I haven't necessarily physically done anything to anybody like harmful or like physically harmful or kind of psychologically harmful. I have done witchcraft on people in the past that I do regret, because, maybe you shouldn't interfere with dark magic in people's lives. But I was driven to a place where I felt like that was necessary. So it happened. And that's okay. I've learned not to do that, because it does have repercussions, not only on the people, but also on you. It's pro tip there for all my baby witches. How did you and your bae as fuck meet? I need help bad. I don't know how to meet men I want. He DM'd me. Yeah. And ultimately, I think that's like the perfect way. I was not looking. I was not seeking. He saw a picture of me drunk in a burger diner and he said, "Hey, cutie." And I was smitten ever since. I was like, yeah, he might be the one. I saw one skate clip. I said, yeah, sold. I'll take him. And listen, I think that's a perfect way. I'm not looking. I'm not seeking. But he should be seeking me out. Duh. So yeah, he DM'd me. And I love that way. I do love that way. I think you can find love in the DMs. Also, if you want to be the person that DMs another person, go for it. What do you have to lose? What are they going to do? Say no? Cool. Anyways, let me move on. Whatever. Unfollow them, mute them, pretend they didn't exist anyways. Very easy. I love social media. You know what I mean? I have cheated my way through college and I'm a senior. Real as fuck. I cheated a lot in nursing school. Not on purpose. Well, I don't know why I said that. Definitely on purpose. One of my friends was studying abroad in Rome while I was in nursing school. And so that means she would take the quizzes and the tests like 4 hours earlier than I would because she had class at a different time and obviously different time zone. So after she took the exam and right before I took the exam, I would call her and I would ask her specifically like to write down like A, B, C or whatever the things were or the ideas were that I needed to remember. And then in a mechanical pencil, since we took all of our tests on our laptops, in a mechanical pencil, I would lightly write on the keys the answers or the things or the keywords or the definitions that I needed to remember and couldn't. And then if a teacher walked by or as soon as I was done, I would just wipe my hand over the keyboard and it would get rid of all the mechanical pencil. And also if you have a proctor online, they aren't going to be able to see the mechanical pencil written on your keyboard because the keyboard is like that matte black. So the mechanical pencil is like very light on it. I don't know why I'm giving this tip, but like if you're really suffering in school and need to pass a quiz, it works. It does work. And listen, hey, as long as you get that fucking degree, I don't give a fuck, you know? I pissed my pants in my bestie's car on her birthday all over, and I had to clean it drunk. Yeah, at least you cleaned it. That makes you a good friend. In high school, we had a friend who would just, like, laugh and pee her pants. I don't know. And she would do it, but she wouldn't clean. She'd be like, I pissed in the car, and then, like, leave. We'd be like, girl, there's piss in the car. Why are you leaving? What is going on? Anyways, be the drunk girl that cleans it up no matter what. That understands, ooh, my bad, I'm so sorry. I'll handle that. Don't worry about it. That's how you be the good friend. I once projectile vomited in my boyfriend's car. Actually, I've done that a couple times. My bad. That's why I don't drink a lot of alcohol anymore because I immediately just start vomiting. I think my body can't handle it anymore, which thank God, honestly. But one time I was like, I couldn't get the words out, like pull over. So I was hitting the car and he was like, what? And then I just like got the window halfway down, did puke in the car. And yes, you know what? I was hungover as fuck the next day, but I did get the fuck up and I did clean that shit up. Yes, because I'm a good person and we all make mistakes. Resumed eating meat after 6 years of vegetarianism and loving it. Okay. I was a vegetarian for a long time. Actually, I cannot believe I was vegan for a couple years and then I realized that was not possible and I was vegetarian for a long time. And then I met my boyfriend and he fed me an asada taco. That changed my entire life. I said, yeah, it's all over from here. And I've been loving it ever since. I realized how good and how much I needed protein and how much fuel it actually gave me and how much I truly was starving myself. Please, if you are vegan, vegetarian, make sure you're getting enough plant protein if possible. My boyfriend of 3 years cheated on me with hookers in Mexico. How do I heal? I don't think you need any healing. I think you need to kick that man the fuck out. I think you practically need to grab his items and throw them out your window and say, hey, come pick up your shit before the homeless people get them. Before somebody steals your shit. Hey, your shit's outside. You better get here before someone steals it. Lock the doors. Never speak to him again. As he's cleaning up his shit from the floor, like picking up his things and like yelling at you, be inside, unbothered, ignoring. Block his number. Block him on everything. Pretend he never existed. Literally, This man needs to be exorcised. You need a man exorcism. You need him out of your fucking life. There is no forgiveness. Him and God will handle that. You handle yourself. Make sure you get that parasite out of your fucking life, because he does not care about you. That's for sure. Hate to be this bitch, but I lost my job and can't pay bills. Can you please plug my art at HESS.arts? Yes, I will. I love you. Please get that money up. I believe in you. Stay strong. How to cope with anger issues at work. I'm about to snap. I don't know. I just go into the walk-in and pull the door closed, and then I just scream. Because it's in the basement, so no one's going to hear me. If you need to like go to the car and scream instead of like screaming in someone's face, I think that's a very healthy thing to do. It's okay to release your anger, but understand like where you're releasing it and make sure you're releasing it in a healthy manner. I don't think you should hold it in. If you're a person with anger issues, don't hold that shit in. You got to release it somewhere, but please don't do it in someone's face. Preferably a pillow or a sealed car, wherever you need to go. But yeah, you gotta get it out. I dated a 33-year-old man at 18 and just broke up with him at 22. Oh, and he has 3 children. You're free. Please stay free. Please run as fast and as far as you possibly can. How to stop myself from harming the dude that keeps fucking over my best friend. See, this is when I'd be like, okay, maybe witchcraft is okay. Maybe a little spell is fine. Sometimes on the pod, you call me out, but I take that as a lesson for bettering myself. Real. I have had some hard conversations with some important women in my life. And the ones that I respect the most are the ones that are willing to look me in the eyes and be like, you are fucking up. You deserve better. And I'm telling you this because I love you. It's very hard to hear, but ultimately, I love a bitch who will do that. And that's why I'm not afraid to sugarcoat it. I mean, sure, of course, I keep your feelings in mind. I want you to be sound and safe, but also, like, I will tell you straight up how it is because I need you to know, and I need someone in your life to be brave enough to tell you. If you're brave enough to come to me with your questions, I'll be brave enough to straight up tell you the fucking truth to your face. And I really hope you hear me out and listen a bit. It's okay if you're in denial. We all have those moments. But yes, please take it as a lesson for bettering yourself. I do not mean for it to be like a direct attack ever. Me and my sister stole money from the temples in Vietnam and used it to buy mango smoothies. I remember when I stole $50 out of my dad's wallet, and then I was like, look, I found $50 on the ground. Will you go take me to Toys R Us? And they were like, where did you get that $50? Girl, where did you get that? They're like, oh, on the floor. It blew in with the wind. Bitch, they know exactly where you got that $50. What? My boyfriend's sex drive is low from meds and corn, and I'm finding it hard to feel sexy and wanted. I would look him in the eyes and be like, I think you can call men out on this bullshit, because if it's directly having effect on you, you can look him in the face and be like, I need you to stop watching fucking porn and jerking it because you haven't had sex with me in this long and it makes me feel like shit. It's a little crazy, but I think it's just the right amount of crazy. And yeah, if it's don't be like, cut your meds out. I get the meds thing, like, yeah. But also, if you're not feeling sexy or wanted because he's wasting whatever sex drive he does have on surface level satisfaction, I think that's worth calling out. Cheated on my ex with my current boyfriend, but have been with boyfriend for a year now, and I'm deeply in love. Oh, I'm sure you're deeply in love, baby girl. You got to, when you fuck up, you have to truly, truly, truly seek forgiveness and like give to the universe in a way to fill that dark hole you created, or else the universe is going to take from you in order to fill the dark hole. Do you know what I mean? That's kind of how I view karma, because karma's real. Karma is very fucking real, and she will come for you if you do not fill that black hole you have created, if you do not make up for your actions. So I think as long as you know, make up for your actions, you adequately seek forgiveness, you adequately forgive, you adequately love, you own up to your mistakes, and, you know, do what you can to make it right, then I think you're safe from karma. But if you just do bad shit and don't think about it, karma's gonna come after you. She will. It's like a scale, you know what I mean? And when you tip the scale, it's gotta tip one way. So you gotta equal it out yourself. Started dating my manager who's 26 and I'm 19. Run as fast as you can. You're not special. That even though you're 19, it is grooming. If you're under 21 with anybody over 25, that is not okay. I think once you hit the 23 to 25 age range, that's when the age gap really doesn't fucking matter anymore, as long as the man's not like 80. I mean, even if he is, fuck it. But if you are under 23 and you are sleeping with somebody over 25 upwards to their 30s, I promise it's never good. It is never good. I want to suck my boyfriend's D, but I gag on a toothbrush. Tips, Illy. I think hands are the most important thing to a blowjob. I rarely think, the throat is impressive or the mouth is impressive. I truly believe it's from the hands and the sounds. Those are the two most underrated things when it comes to blowjobs, and I think that's what truly makes a good BJ. You gotta be willing to, use as much spit as possible to, of course, cover your teeth with your lips, stick your tongue out as if you're saying, ah. That will protect the mouth. That will make it safe area for the D. But the hands, the spit in the hands, okay? Maybe you can grab some balls. Maybe you can use the other hand to, wrap around to elongate what your mouth cannot do to compensate for that. You can use two hands if you can fit it, so it feels like it's completely wrapped in your mouth, but ultimately you maybe have just a little bit in your mouth. That is the tip and the trick that I can give you if you feel like you can't get it all in. All right, hands are so important. And also, like, if you're gonna gag a lot, I think that's okay. I think guys are kind of into it. I think it makes them think they have a big dick. All right, I think they're like, ooh, oh shit, okay, like, oh, she's gagging on it. So I don't think it's a bad thing, but also I understand you not wanting to projectile vom, so please use your hands. Okay, pro tip: when you're giving head, at the bottom there's like a thicker vein. If you place your thumb there, and as you're going up and down, slowly massage gently the vein, it will take you to the next level. I will tell you that. I can queef on command and nobody thinks it's cool when I show them. I mean, it's cool, but if you're doing it to strangers, I understand how they're like, what the fuck just happened? We all got our secret talents. We all got them. All right. Yours just happens to be that pussy power. If I'm seeing someone I met off a dating app and they updated their profile, should I stop? Are you dating? If you are fully dating, fully committed, yes, I think you should stop. But no matter what the situation is, even if you're just like seeing each other, we just started talking, whatever, I think you should call them out. I think you should be like, hey, I got a little crazy and I was doing some digging. Or I would not place the blame on yourself for even being on the dating app. Yeah, it's a little sneaky suspicious, but I would be like, my friend was on this dating app and saw your profile and saw that you had updated it. Is there something you want to explain here? Are you still seeking out other people? I think it's kind of fun. It's a little toxic, but men need to be called out on bad behavior. Always. I think it's worth calling out for sure. I don't know if it's worth leaving. If you're in a relationship, I think it's absolutely worth leaving. I'm a compulsive liar. I've been through that phase too. I feel like it was because I didn't know myself, and also I felt like I had to lie to be accepted. And that's just not hot or sexy at all, and nobody really likes a liar, and I realized that, and I was like, oh, who am I trying to appease here? Because I'm obviously not appeasing myself, and I'm not appeasing anybody around me. So that will help the compulsive liarness, is just being like, wait, who is this benefiting? Because genuinely, it's not benefiting anybody around me, especially not me, because I don't know who I am. I can't keep up with lies, and also nobody else knows who I am. And that's a little spooky, you know? What is your view on open relationships? We've been together for 3 years. I don't think I could. I physically don't think I could. At this point in my life, I'm a little psycho, a little crazy, and a little protective, and a little overbearing, and a little... I trust my partner, but like I don't trust other people. So open relationships are just not for me. Also, he's a Scorpio and he is also the exact same way as I am. So if we had an open relationship, it would not go good. It would not go good at all. at all. I know who I am, and I will not settle for anything else. Like, if you want to go fuck other people, then you just won't be with me, period. Now, if you want to fuck other people and your partner also wants to fuck other people, cool, fine, whatever. Do whatever the fuck you want in your relationship. As long as you have rules and regulations, please set rules. Please have an understanding of what needs to happen in order for this to be a healthy, open relationship. Also, a trend I've noticed is men will suggest, like, oh, we should be in an open relationship, not realizing that, like, men can't pull as much as women can. You know what I mean? Like, of course, girls will be like, oh, sure, we can be in an open relationship. But the women are going to pull 10 times the amount of people the men are going to be able to pull. And I do see this thing where, like, men are unfulfilled or just, like, sexually driven, and they want to open a relationship with their girl. And then the girl gets with all these men because it's an open relationship and isn't this what we're supposed to be doing? And the man can't pull anybody. And all of a sudden he's butthurt and wants to break up. This is what you asked for. This is what you asked for. Be careful what you ask for. Okay? But I don't know. Open relationships are such a trend nowadays. And it's like, why not just be single? Why not just be single? And, like, keep your partner as your friend. And then casually fuck them on the side. I don't know. I'm not into it. But if you are, props to you. You go out there and you let that freak flag fly. And hopefully do it carefully and, you know, within each other's boundaries in order to keep the relationship safe. Also, if your partner suggests being in an open relationship and then has a partner within the week, they've been cheating on you. Like, let's be real. How did you find somebody that quickly? You had someone in the back of your mind that you've been wanting to fuck, practically maybe have been fucking, mind fucking at the very least. And that's weird. I'm in love with my logic professor. Did you guys see the Hello Kitty TA and the professor on TikTok? If you guys don't know, there was this, like, 40-something-year-old computer science professor who had this, like, Hello Kitty bleach blonde, little cutesy dolly dresses, like, Lolita as fuck TA, who did Hello Kitty coloring pages and taped them to his door that said, "Happy birthday, daddy." Like, weird shit like that. Was caught sleeping in his office. They ended up being engaged. I kind of love it. Actually, I don't love it. I thought about the age gap for a second. I don't love it. For some reason, I was thinking maybe she was like 26 or something. I know she's young, and I know that he is taking advantage of that situation. Fucked up on his part. But a small, weird, fucked up side of me is kind of like, okay, the dream? No, I'm joking. So bad. I blame the fanfic I read when I was younger for having my brain think like that. I do. I blame the Harry Styles Professor fanfic that I used to read. And the unrestricted Tumblr access that absolutely romanticized that kind of relationship everywhere. Listen. Anyways, that shit was crazy. Any random bugs I find at home, I put it in my sister's room. We live in Australia with big spiders. That's one of the things I'm like, I want to go to Australia so fucking bad, but I don't know if I can deal with the spiders. I love a spider as long as it's, like, under the size of a quarter. If it's smaller than a quarter, like, we can vibe. I'll pick you up. I'll move you. If you're any bigger, if I can see how big your eyes are, I'm spooked. I think it comes from trauma. One time, me and my dad were at the pet shop and they had a bird-eating spider. And they were like, oh, come look at this bird-eating spider. And I was just, like, a little girl, so I wandered over. I was like, oh my God, that's a massive spider. How cool. I love bugs. Like, I have no problem with bugs. Then they fed it a mouse. And I watched the spider eat a mouse. And after that, I was like, oh, I don't think I fuck with big spiders. That's a little scary. I keep going back to watching porn and I can't stop. Please pray for me. God, please release my girly from the shackles of instant dopamine. Let her find true love. Let them find true love and true understanding in their life. And let their freak flag fly in a healthy and beneficial way to both them and their partner, where they can enjoy real sex on their own. I don't know. Also, enjoy. You know, don't do weird shit. Don't do it too much. Trust me, like, that will fuck you up mentally and physically. But if you want to indulge here and there, it is what it is. This man only lasts for 60 seconds in only one round. Does he not give a fuck about me? No, no, no. I think he's really fucking into you, and that's why he's not lasting. But also, you should, if he doesn't last long, he should prioritize your pleasure before his. You know what I mean? And if he's not smart enough to fucking do that and you do want to keep fucking him, I think you should prioritize your pleasure before his. Because obviously he's not going to last long and you want to have your fun too. You don't want to just be like, okay, you came, now what? Like, where's mine? So, like, yeah, be like, eat my pussy. This is a wild episode. I keep looking at myself just as a nun and it's shocking to me. But I think I would just say that and then be like, you can have yours when I'm finished. Okay, Dom. Okay, dominatrix. I hate that my fiance is balding and I don't know if I should leave him. Oh my God. Listen, if you're thinking about leaving a man because he's balding, it's not because he's balding. This has to be the cherry on top. For women, leaving a man is so weird because it's like they can verbally abuse you and do the worst shit to you ever. And then you look at the bald patch in the back of his head one day and you're like, it's done. We're done. And it's like, you weren't done when he was doing horrible, awful things to you. Like, this is truly what made you break. It happens. It happens. I guarantee it's not the bald patch. It's not the cul-de-sac he's growing in the back of his head. It is probably a culmination of many things. So if you're sitting here asking, should I leave him because he's bald? You should probably just leave him because I don't think you love him. And that's okay. Better to know now than be stuck and 5 years later wishing you made a decision that you would have made when you were younger, stronger, mentally, physically, and in the prime of your life. I lost track of my body count, but it's somewhere over 50 and not even my close friends know. That's okay. I don't think anybody needs to know your body count, and I don't think any person for their own right mind should keep track of their body count because that is just, it's weird. It's weirdo behavior. I don't think any adults that I know in my life, if I asked them what their body count was, would actually know a number. I think they would look at me like I was silly and fucking stupid. I think that's like some weird taboo shit that like young people think about because virginity culture is so prioritized and like male dominance is so prioritized. It's like, what the fuck? Men can go out and fuck 50 people and not think about it and truly have no idea of a number. But if a woman says anything over than 3, they're like, whore, slut. Bitch, shut up. Okay? Take that finger and point it right back in your face because that's truly where it should be. Don't worry about body count. It does not fucking matter as long as you are staying safe, protected, getting tested, being a good partner, and most importantly, having fun. Okay, because that's what sex is for. True freaks don't care about body count because they truly are invested in lives of pleasure. And as long as you're having fun and enjoying it and having a good time and seeking pleasure not only for yourself and your partner, then who cares? Last but not least, I have a felony possession charge from 2016 for 30 plus Xans. We've lived and learned. You know what? I feel like that perfectly encompasses this episode today. We do live and learn. It's okay. You're gonna have these crazy fucking experiences, these mistakes, these lessons, these unsure ideas of what the fuck's happening. But as long as you address it, take charge of it, realize, you know what, fuck them or maybe fuck me, and do what you can to do better. That's all that fucking matters. All right. I don't want any of you guys leaving this podcast feeling like guilty of something. All right. And if you do feel guilty of something, ask yourself, how can I find forgiveness in my everyday life? I've forgived you. I understand we're all human, but do you? And how can you provide that for yourself? Okay. Nun Hannah coming in here. Hot. All right. I love a confessionals episode. I truly do, because sometimes, you know, the guilt gets overwhelming, or maybe we've made mistakes and we just got to get it off our chest. And I'm glad that we've created a community where we feel safe and supported and understood in a way that we're able to speak highly and kindly about these things to each other. So thank you all for being here. Thank you for being honest, and thank you for being real with me and being vulnerable. You guys are so fucking hot and sexy and brave and wonderful and amazing, and you are all going amazing places. You all are going to do wonderful things with your life. And if you need to go out there and be crazy and have these real life experiences in order to get there, that's okay. I would rather have you fuck up a million times and learn a million lessons than stay inside and do nothing and learn nothing about yourself. 1,000%. I would rather have you make so many mistakes that you learn so much about yourself and you have grown so much as a human than staying the same person that you were before because you were not brave enough to try something new. That's what truly matters in this life. And you know what? We're all deserving of making a few mistakes here and there and having a little laugh at it. So I'm glad that we could come together and have a little laugh together. Also, I finally smoked for like the first time in a while on this podcast. Sorry. Usually get too high and then just start rambling or like my brain stops working. So I kind of stopped for a bit, but I'm glad that we could get on here and just get silly, you know what I mean? Have a little fun. That's what Halloween is all about. Release your inner freak. Indulge in the holidays in whatever way possible. Indulge however you want. Please dress up at least and indulge in that kind of crazy side of yourself. Let your freak flag fly and just have a good Halloween. We didn't get to a lot of questions today. I know it was a confessionals episode, but if you do have a question that you need answered now, if you need help now, join the Patreon, patreon.com/smokesashawty. We hang out every Thursday, chit chat a little bit, and I go over every single one of your questions. My bitches, my witches, my ghouls, my gals, thank you all for being here. Thank you for being honest. Thank you for being you. Thank you for being so uninhibited that we can all just live a little through each other and share a little laugh along the way, because fuck, life's hard enough, so we might as well have a good time. You know what I mean? Get out there, have fun, take care of yourself, stay sane, stay sexy, and I will see you all so very soon. Mwah!